Hello everyone. The story I'm going to share today is your own choice. In ancient China, people often told this story and it spread widely across the land. There once was a man named Wang Laoliu who was very poor and lived a half-starved life. Because he was so poor, no girl wanted to marry him. One year, there was a severe drought in his hometown, and there was not even grass growing in the land. Seeing more and more people fleeing the famine, Lao Liu gathered up all his property, which consisted of a single bag of sweet potatoes, and joined the fleeing crowds. About halfway along his journey, he met a father and daughter who were so hungry that they had become very weak. They could hardly continue to walk. On the father's back, there was a heavy bag. The father asked for a piece of sweet potato from Lao Liu, but he refused to give one to him. So the father said, "Can you sell your sweet potatoes to me? I also can marry my daughter to you." Just as he was saying this, he took the bag off his back, a bag full of silver, and he put it on the ground. It turned out that the father was a landlord in the village. Lao Liu stunned and could not move his eyes away from the bag, because he never seen such a big sum of silver in his life, and not even dreamed of it. Although the daughter's face was covered with some dust, her beauty still could be seen. Lao Liu immediately sold his whole bag of sweet potatoes. The daughter advised him not to sell the whole bag, but he was too excited to take any advice. Fearing that the landlord would regret his decision, he dragged the landlord's daughter with him and rushed forward on his way. A few days later, Lao Liu became weak because of hunger, but he could not buy anything to eat on his way. He could hardly continue to walk. The father who bought sweet potatoes very soon caught up with him. Looking at the big bag of sweet potatoes on the landlord's back, Lao Liu began to regret his actions. He stepped forward to ask if he could buy some sweet potatoes from him, but the man refused to sell it back. Lao Liu, disappointed, sat down on the ground, holding his silver, and died of hunger. After he died, he saw the king of the underworld, and the king said, "I'll give you a chance to become wealthy." And unexpectedly it killed you. It is indeed true that people die for money, and birds die for food. Lao Liu said, "I'm afraid of being poor all my life, and I don't want to be poor anymore." The king said, "In fact, you shouldn't be poor. If you had sold half of the sweet potatoes, you wouldn't have been poor. But who told you to sell all of them? You were so greedy for money. You got the money, but lost your life. All right, it's meaningless to mention it. Your previous life is over. Go and reincarnate quickly. You have two choices in your next life. One is 10,000 people to support you, and the other is you to support 10,000 people. Which way would you like to go?" Without any hesitation, Lao Liu replied, "Of course, I would like 10,000 people to support me." Then he went away happily. 30 years later, Lao Liu returned back to the king and kept saying that the king cheated him. The king smiled and said, "How can you say that I lied to you?" Lao Liu said, "After listening to you, I've been a beggar for a lifetime." The king said, "That's right. 10,000 people support one person means a beggar. You don't want to do any work and just want to enjoy a blessing. But how can there be such a good thing? You can't believe me. You can only believe yourself for being greedy." When Lao Liu heard this, he said, "Lord, in my next life, please let me live a good life." The king said, "This is easy. Now, there are two good jobs. One is to guard a golden mountain, and the other is to guard a piece of land. Which one do you choose?" Laoliu thought about it carefully this time and said, "I would like to guard a golden mountain." Seeing the back of Laoliu walking away, the king said, "This man is doomed to be poor." All the subordinates were confused and asked why. The king said, "The job of guarding peaceful land is actually being a high official in one place. The job of guarding Golden Mountain was actually a mouse guarding a barn." Life is yours, along the same road. Some people stroll, some people run, and some people drive. Different decisions will lead to different results. In meeting the same fate, some people fight with a smile, some cry, some plead, some quietly endure. Different attitudes will result in different results. No one can define your lifestyle, and everything is your own choice. But one thing is very clear, that one cannot be greedy in life. Greed is a thing against your nature. All things start with greed. Let nature take its course. Be content without asking for anything. And in the end, you will find that what you have is the best. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.